Hello, everybody, and welcome to Vibing Out with Texony. I'm your host, Texony, aka Mr. WorldVibe. And what we have here is a community to give local voices a public platform of shared ideas, knowledge, and perspectives. So, this is season 2, Go Home, where a majority of the episodes will serve as a guide for you to return home. But not just to our physical house, instead, ways of understanding and discovering the best version of ourselves, physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, and spiritually. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go home. So today's episode, first feature Friday of the season, is with Ryan, aka Ryanrampersadfit on Instagram. And if you remember, back in season 1, my first episode, my first feature Friday, was with Ryan as well, where we did Can Bears Tell Time Part 1. And this is part 2 of that episode. It's been a long time. It's been 9 months since we recorded that first episode, and a lot has changed. Biggest change, I think, in Ryan's life at least, is he's moved up north and with his family, and he's in a new home. So I start out by just asking him in this episode what being home means to him. We finally answered the question, can bears tell time? In part 1, we didn't really get around to answering that, and for a lot of you guys who have heard the episode, obviously you want to hear the answer to this, so we came prepared this time with facts on facts in order to provide you guys with an informational and conclusive discussion. So you'll have to stay tuned for the answer on can bears tell time or not. You'll have to stay tuned. Some of the ways to go home or return home to the best version of ourselves is through improving our mentality or our physical bodies, right? So in part 1 of the episode, I asked Ryan about 2 areas of well-being that he has knowledge and experience with, which are fitness and nutrition. I know these areas are very important, and I'm sure you know that too, you'd agree, but they're also kind of overlooked, right? Especially nowadays. So you'll hear from these talks about how being mentally and physically minded relates so much to fitness and nutrition. Ryan's ideas really helped me bridge those gaps in my life, and so I'm sure the perspectives that you hear in this episode will serve you as well. So before we start the episode, if you're watching on YouTube, give this video a like, comment if you'd like as well, and subscribe so you don't miss another episode. If you're listening on Apple Music or Spotify, go ahead and follow or subscribe to our podcast here so that you don't miss an episode, because I'm steady dropping episodes weekly, so I don't want you guys to miss anything. So yeah, follow, subscribe, like, and share the episode with other people who you think would benefit from this episode or like to listen or watch, because we grow organically here. We grow when other people recommend this podcast. So yeah, I appreciate all the positivity, all the encouragement, all the support so far, and I'm just excited that we're finally coming back with these feature Fridays, to be honest. So before we get into it though, I just want to let you guys know this episode is sponsored by my Patreon. And if you've been here for a while and you've enjoyed the content, the episodes, the giveaways, the merch, and just the community in general, you'd love being on the Patreon, okay? It's basically a website or app as well if you want to download that allows creators such as myself to produce exclusive content for people who are willing to invest in our community. So for as cheap as $2 a month, you'll have access to exclusive content, behind the scenes, so much more on the Patreon. So I don't want you guys to miss out. If this sounds like something you're interested in, check the link in the description of this video, or check the link in my bio on Instagram as well. So lots of ways to get on the Patreon. And yeah, just thank you guys for joining so far. A lot of you guys have joined, and just can't thank you guys anymore for supporting our community here. It means a lot. So thank you so much. And I guess let's just get into the episode. So this is Can Bears Tell Time Part 2 with Ryanrampersadfit, and hope you enjoy. Peace. So this week, the first episode, first feature Friday of season 2, Go Home. I have here Ryan. Okay, Ryan's a longtime friend of mine, almost 13 years. That's crazy.
That's deep.
He's a machinist, Red Seal certified, and he's recently moved and upgraded his personal life, which I'll let you get into. Okay. We reconnected a few years back, and he's been helping me build the podcast for like the past last year.
Give me the shout out.
The first feature Friday, you guys probably know if you've been listening, if you've been here for long enough. The first feature Friday was with Ryan, titled "Can Bears Tell Time?" And because it was part 1, we never got around to answering the question, right? So I brought him back. Okay. We're here to answer the questions and also just share some talks and discussions about the topics we spoke on last time. So I'm sure you'll remember what we talked about. So first of all, how are you feeling?
Good, man. Good.
Feel good?
Good to see you. Glad to do this. Thanks for having me on your podcast. All that. It's nice to reconnect.
It is.
As we get busier, it's hard to make time. So I'm glad we have something to reconnect and have some time together.
That's true. It's
nice. Yeah.
I feel that. It has been a while.
How are you, man?
Thanks. I'm good, man. Life's been going crazy just leading up to season 2. We're locked down and just with the pandemic, it's just everything's happening. Everything happens so quickly. I feel like life moves so fast. So it's nice to just settle down and just sit down and have talks like this. Even with you, with other people, it's just nice to reconnect with people, especially people that are important in your life. Just sit down, catch up, and just slow it down in life.
You're right. I am important.
You heard it here first, guys. So yeah, it's been a while. It's been 9 months since we sat down and did part 1. 9 months. Yeah. And so this is my first question. Is a human question. All right. It's just a basic human question. How have you been doing through the pandemic? Have you been thriving or surviving or both? How would you feel? You've been doing? Which one?
I gotta rhyme like that. Thriving, man.
Okay.
Make or break. What do you call it? Since the last time we talked, I guess it was just the start of the pandemic. Our house was supposed to finish built in March. Got pushed back to July and until November, which is when it closed. And now we're all moved in and all cozy.
Yeah.
Work's been the same, Fortunately enough, I'm in an industry, it's essential where we have lots of business.
Yeah.
Work's there, and even though the pandemic's still going on, people have found ways around it.
That's true.
Community's still going on, people still have businesses, so ambition's still there to just find a new creative way to be. I guess I want to be an entrepreneur. That's my.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into what you're doing with that in a bit too, for sure, because I know you're moving with that. But that's good. It's good to know you've been working and been able to kind of keep up with everything. And obviously, we're here now. We're here now in your new home, which we'll get into as well. But so I want to start with this. So even though we have access to I have access to a professional studio to do my guest features, and that's where you guys are going to see a lot of them. I was really excited to come record this podcast here in your house, or should I say your home, right? I kind of briefly explained, I think, this topic to you, this theme of season 2, Go Home. I think we talked about this on the phone briefly. That's not only about being go home is not really about being confined to your physical home, but it's also about being somewhere you're comfortable. Somewhere you can grow, learn and thrive, right? I know the term home has a lot of meaning to you as well. So can you talk about what going home or what being home means to you, and maybe what parts of your life kind of support that meaning?
I mean, home. For me, it's just somewhere you always want to be. That's the place you sleep. Your family is. I mean, right now with this pandemic, I don't even want to leave my house. I had 2 weeks off when I was moving into the house. There's nothing better than spend all that time with the family, settle into the house. I thought it'd be kind of funny adjusting to a new lifestyle, leaving the place I grew up, in Brampton, leaving all my friends, most of my family, coming out Orangeville side. But man, even the first day we didn't even have anything moved in, no furniture. This place felt like home. I had to go back to Brampton to still move other stuff, and I felt like I was leaving home. It's just so comfortable, and I have my family here. This is where I want to be.
Yeah.
So even that, with the pandemic keeping us inside, kind of limiting our life, I don't even want to leave. I want to have a business from my house where I could be around my family and do everything out of the comfort of my own house. And even if you watch that Kevin Hart's new special, man, Like in it, it's in his house, and he's like, there's nowhere he's more comfortable than in your house. And right now, I completely relate to that.
Nice.
And like, yeah, man.
I remember when you invited us over here when you just moved in. I remember you told me you're like this feels like home. As soon as you came in here, you're like, yo, like this feels like home. I remember you saying that, and so yeah, I just wanted to ask you that because I know you have a strong definition of what home means. You know.
What does it mean to you?
Home to me means basically the same thing. Somewhere where you're with your family, somewhere where you're comfortable. Like a house is temporary. A home is permanent. That's kind of the difference. And to me, a home can go further than just a physical place. Like I said, it's somewhere like where you feel like you belong. So if you can keep that feeling with whatever you do, like your job, if your job feels like somewhere, you can call your job your home. Like if you can work from home, or if your job aligns with like what you love to do, like your values, something that you see yourself doing for the rest of your life, or you're emotionally home, like you're not, acting out of like your character, like if you know yourself. So it even goes to like your emotions, you know what I mean? I think home is a lot of things that has to do with being comfortable and being somewhere you belong at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Okay. I agree.
Okay. True. So we're doing part 2, Can Bears Tell Time? And I know you guys don't want to wait a second longer, okay? We don't want to wait too long. Let's just jump into this debate, okay? Let's jump into the debate. Can bears tell time, okay? I looked up a bunch of information, okay, from Time. I did bear research. Okay, so I want to start with a quote, okay? This quote is pretty profound.
Holy, bro. I watched 3 videos.
That's fine. We're going to have a debate anyways. So here's my quote. And it's not my quote. It's from Lao Tzu. He's a Chinese philosopher. He was one of the founders of Taoism, which is basically it's a philosophy of balance and harmony. So basically what Lao Tzu said is, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. So in that sense, time and nature are very intertwined. Like we have seasons, and we don't question when the seasons happen. They happen as they're supposed to. The leaves grow and they die, but they always grow, they always die. You know what I mean? It happens regardless. So I think we should start with the definitions of time, because time is a very tricky thing. You know what I mean? Okay. Bears, we know what bears are. There's different types. Sure. But and I don't know, I didn't research a lot of types of bears, but I know I'm very concerned with time and what time is. And I think we can start there. Time it has to do with nature. When we're talking about animals are nature. And time, we were around after time was made. We didn't invent time. Time was already a thing, right?
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think to the answer? Can bears tell time? And you're let's start there. Yes or no?
I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I think animals can tell time. And I think bears are no exception.
Bro, you can't be like that. You can't even be like that.
Why?
You have to bears, guy.
Okay, we'll stick to the bear. Bears can tell time. I'll spit some facts for you. Okay, how about that? And you can see how you feel about that.
Let me hear it.
So, I'll start with this.
That's wrong. Go on, though. Yo, we got our boy fact checking over there. Hey, yo,
fact checker? We got a fact checker over here.
Watch yourself. Yeah.
So there's a thing in animals called timing cells. Okay, and they tell you how long an animal's been resting. So animals know how long they've been resting because of timing cells. So when you think about hibernation, right? Bears, we think bears hibernate, right?
We think they hibernate. They do.
See, that's where you're wrong.
Holy.
See?
Off the bat, yo.
Hibernation occurs in small mammals like rodents, shrews, bats. This is where when hibernation, an animal sleeps and it's hard to wake them up. It's very hard to wake them up. Once their body temperature decreases and their metabolism decreases, they're pretty much gone for a long period of time. If you go into a bear cave and a bear is hibernating, it can wake up, kill you, whatever, and go right back to bed. So bears are not hibernating. They're actually in an extended period of sleep called torpor. So sleep, we decrease our metabolism, we decrease our body temperature, but we can wake up out of it very easily and start functioning again, and we can go back to sleep. So bears are in extended torpor, which means they can wake up whenever they want. But they sleep for 5 to 7 days without eating, peeing. They use their the pee, they use the protein to keep their muscle. And they sleep for 5 to 7 days. Wake up, go back to bed.
How do they know when to wake up?
These timing cells.
And these timing cells are just in their genetics.
Mm-hmm. So bears
But why do they wake up if they're just gonna go back to sleep?
Because they can't hibernate. They're too big of a. It's too big of a mammal. That's why.
Jeez.
That's fact one, guys.
I actually did read a study where it said like dogs and cats are able to like those same time cells when it comes to like food, like how long ago you fed them, or like how, like if they're waiting for something, then they're able to tell how long they're waiting.
Ooh, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I just seen it in dogs. The only reason I'm thinking bears is because their sense of smell, man.
They have, because
that sense of smell, smell that.
Dogs have a good sense of smell, but bears' sense of smell is probably way better.
They say a bloodhound is 300 times better than a human, and a bear is 2,100 times stronger than a human.
Okay, so how do you
smell from miles, my guy?
From miles?
From miles. I think this is like 18, 20 miles.
Whoa. So, and I wanted to bring up the fact of smell, because smell can judge time too.
That's what I'm saying.
Like if you go into a house and you smell some nice apple pie being baked, you know that pie was recently baked because you smell it. So you can tell time from that, right?
I think they can tell time.
And so, so they use the scent as an indicator of the past or the present.
Because their nose is so developed. They have like so much more receptors. They have so much more surface area for the receptors. And this is I thought this was pretty cool. They can move their nose around with the same dexterity that we can move our fingers.
I've seen that. I think I've seen bears too. They're like they do that.
That's actually creepy, guys.
That's creepy.
But I'm just saying, like, if that's how good their sense of smell is, exactly what that apple pie like reference. They run up on like an animal, they could tell like how long ago this animal's been dead, or how long ago somebody was in an area.
So they could probably do that like naturally.
Yeah, that's what adapted over time for them. That's one is their, I guess, like methods for survival.
Okay. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, because we talked about hibernation, timing cells, smell is one, and then there's actually a part of your brain. It's in the temporal lobe. So the temporal lobe's here on the sides, like inside the sides. There's a part called the medial. I have to get this right. Entorhinal cortex.
I didn't write it down because I don't know how to say that shit.
I barely know how to say it. It's in the temporal lobe, and it's associated with episodic memories. Episodic memories, basically, those are like memories based on space and time. So episodic memories. So if you remember, I was here doing that. I know where I was, and I know what time. So based on space and time. So bears can know I was here. They relate space and time to memories, and that's how. So they have brain functions that are larger. They have timing cells, which lets their body cycle with nature, and they have the sense of smell. So, what do we think? Can bears tell time then?
What's a bear?
We're back to the beginning, guys. No, I think they can. I think we concluded that they can.
I would say so. I mean, the thing that started that whole question was like I was listening to another podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the person who was speaking was saying that, like, their sense of smell is so strong. When they smell something, they can determine how long ago that thing was there. So I'm just like, bears be out here, to be telling time.
To be telling time. They don't need an Apple Watch to tell time.
How do you?
They don't need a clock.
So, what's your favorite bear then?
Oh yeah, we had this conversation recently. I'm partial to the polar bear. I'm sad they're going extinct, but they're pretty ferocious, man. They are. They're huge and they're cute, but they're like deadly. I like that. It's like a combo. But I'm sad they're going extinct. That's all. Canadian too.
Nice.
What's your favorite bear?
Kodiak.
Please explain.
Kodiak. They're just like really big grizzlies that live on Kodiak Island. That island has so much like food source, and they're the top predator. Those bears can literally grow as big as they want.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to put a picture up.
So what I'm saying is, my end goal of hunting is to get a bear.
Hunt a bear?
A grizzly bear.
Ooh.
A Kodiak bear.
You gonna like skin it and put like the like a bear carpet?
Make that guy a coat, dog. Or roll up on you with my bear coat, yo.
Next part 3, can bears tell time? He's gonna have the coat on, guys.
Be like, yo, this bear couldn't, guy. Like that one too.
This bear could not tell time. So in our last talk, in our part 1, we spent some time talking about fitness and nutrition. And that's something that you've taught me a lot about, to be honest. Fitness and nutrition give me a lot of perspectives on. So let's go to the nutrition side first, because that's something everyone can relate to, is nutrition. I imagine a lot of people during the pandemic have let their dietary goals kind of go less, due to stress and anxiety of the times, which is understandable. At the same time, eating healthy can lower stress, improve brain and body function, and increase immunity, something we all need nowadays. So it's just a funny contradiction in what we're doing. But I remember what you said last time, and I'm going to quote you because it's a big quote I can't forget. You said, and we talked about this earlier, you said, we've been brainwashed to think that healthy food tastes bad and unhealthy food tastes good, right? So why do you think that's true? And how can we begin to unlearn this way of thinking?
It's very hard when you do something new. It takes a lot of discipline, hard work, determination. But why I think that is our lifestyle, society up here is more quick, it's fast paced. So a lot of things like fast food and when you grow up young, even you want to put your friends something cheap and affordable, it's most of the time going to be fast food. So our bodies have gotten used to, just fast food wise, have gotten used to so much salt and sugar and all the fats that they put into the food to make it taste good. And that stuff does taste good, but it's what our body kind of wants because we've been eating it for so long. So our bodies have adapted to that lifestyle. Even the fruits and vegetables we get in the grocery store, what about all that GMO and modified foods? Does anybody really know where their food's coming from? Unless you're growing it yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say, okay, I like to say when I go back home to Trinidad, those people there are all skinny, man. They're eating normal chicken thighs and whatever natural food that they could farm and grow on their land is kind of the lifestyle they live.
Fair enough.
So thighs and other parts of the chicken is 50% fat that's in the meat. So how can they eat let's say so much fat and still maintain such a slim figure or
It's kind of instead of being brainwashed, we've kind of been body washed. Does that make sense? Our bodies are the things that control what our mind wants.
Yeah.
So we can't really let our body decide what our mind goes to. Right? Is that what you're saying? The things in the food that we eat in our body lead us to lead our brain to choosing the foods that are wrong for us.
Yeah, our body's used to a Wendy's burger tasting good. So if your body's used to vegetables being tasting the best,
How do you let your brain decide before your body decides for you?
That's just willpower, determination. I mean, you gotta do stuff that you don't want to do, but you force yourself, Mm-hmm. Sometimes you want to rest, but you gotta do some shit. Mm-hmm. Finish work or help around the house or So it's I guess that same willpower and determination. I mean, most people don't just want to relax and enjoy life, right? So how do we go about every day? Go to work. Half the people don't even like the job they work. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's that same factor of doing stuff we don't want to do to make your body get the things that it needs to get.
Yeah, and you said the knowledge about macros, the knowledge about the food as well, right?
I mean, that comes with time. There's simple ways to break it down for people to get started into it. Mm-hmm. If it fits your macros kind of thing, which is just you eat whatever that fits the amount of that macro, 200 grams of carbs. You could eat cereal, you could eat this or that once you stay within that limit. Mm-hmm. So there's a really a lot to nutrition, but I would say the first thing is to try to eat natural. Not even worry about how much you're eating or where your food is what macros it's falling into. Mm-hmm. Just really paying attention to what you eat.
Fair enough.
Even myself, I got my hunting license because I want natural meat. I want to go out get a deer or a moose that's lived in the wild, grew up eating grass and
eating natural foods itself.
Yeah, it's natural environment.
Yeah.
And I want to like have my own garden and grow vegetables. Like I know what I'm putting into it, so you know where you're getting out. You know what you're eating.
100%.
So like if you start by just knowing what you're eating, it's a better start than knowing like, okay, I gotta eat this much, this much, this much.
Okay, that's a good place to start. Yeah.
Because even if you eat this much, and this like set amounts, like if you realize something you've been eating in that category isn't healthy or like not the best for you, it's hard. Like a diet, the best diet is something you can sustain, right? Like something you can more than 3 months like do.
Okay, that's yeah.
Like whatever it may be per person, like varies. Mm-hmm. So I guess like once you know what you're eating is like natural, it's a bit easier for you to play around with like what you can and can't eat from that.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so know what you're eating first. Start there. Pay attention to that. Learn the macros. Learn where your food comes from, and then just have that like willpower all the way through. Right. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, I like that. That's a good place to start. I mean, I feel like me included, a lot of people it's easy to just order some Uber Eats. It's easy to do that, but we got to do the hard thing sometimes, right? But it'll pay off, right?
I mean, most of like the easy way out isn't like the best way, right?
Fair enough.
Like adversity is what gives you growth, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't want like the easy way. You don't want to be just what you are. You always want to be better. So once you're always finding that thing, okay, like today I'm going to switch out this for this. Let me try this and see how well I can do it. Or like now I'm going to start watching how much I eat. Let me just see what I eat and how it is. So like, yeah, you know, there's like those steps to follow to get into it. But yeah, anything you do, like it's always easy to cave in, but like I guess it just comes down to the person you are and who you want to be, right?
So on the fitness side of things, right? We discussed how busy life is nowadays, obviously. When we talked about fitness last time, we talked about how busy life is, right? You know how you have 24 hours in a day. You might remember this conversation. You got to go to work. You got to commute. You have time. You need time to sleep and rest. And then there's a portion left for like relaxing time with family and to yourself. So it's in that time, like that time to relax, family with yourself. It's in that small time you have to dedicate towards fitness, right? This is what you said last time. I'm going to give you another big quote.
Jeez, guys,
you only have about 10% of your day to work out. If you're not using the time effectively, you're wasting it, right? You went on to say you got to make every moment count. And nowadays, we're home more. So less commuting, if any, less work, if any. So we almost have actually more time to work out nowadays. It's kind of flipped from when we were talking about it last time. That's true. What are some ways we can start to or continue to make fitness a priority?
Yo, you gotta, that comes down to the person. You know? What's your priorities? Even though you have more time, is that more time to waste? Like, just because you give people more time, like, do they even know what to do with it?
You're getting a lot of people in the fields right now. It's true.
Bro, I told him, when I left my job, I'm working pretty heavy hours just right now to collect some money and pay off some shit. Mm-hmm. But this new job I'm starting, like, I'm not trying to work no overtime. I'm not trying to work no additional hours. So then one of my coworkers, they hit me with, like, so what are you going to do with that extra time? Like, you know? Like, those 3-4 hours that you would be working, like, do you have a plan for them, or are they just gonna go to waste? I was like, yo, this guy just said I want to waste, man. Mm-hmm. So like, yeah, it's true. Like, you know, like some people, if they have more time, like do they even like value that? Like, do you even value the time you have? Like, even if you get more, will you even use it? So like, if fitness isn't a priority in the first place, like it won't be, even if you got more time. Like, if you have time to make excuses, you get more time, you got more excuses. Ooh. Like, you make it a priority, like, you'll do it. Mm-hmm. Like, if most people, you want something done, you'll do it, right? Mm-hmm. Like, kind of, I don't really try to set a schedule, but I have things that I want to get done in the day. So, like, most of the time, my sleep is what gets sacrificed. Trying to do most stuff, like sometimes I'll work out at like 11 o'clock and before I was getting up at like 3. So like, you know, if it's really a priority, like you'll make time.
Yes.
Like after work I come home, I help see about my family, spend time with them. spend time with the wife, like the kids,
Mm-hmm.
be in the house, and then after everything cools down, you know, like it's me time. Like I want to hit the gym.
Yeah.
I want to get those gains. Like that's a priority for me. Like it's so much of a priority. It kind of just became part of who I am.
Ooh, I like that you said that.
Yeah.
Because you're saying it's who you are. It's kind of like when you make it your identity, it becomes a priority. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like, you know, sometimes people get lost in doing so many things.
Mm-hmm.
You forget who you are. So, like, there's certain things that make you who you are. And, like, fitness has been such a big part of my life. Like, when I don't work out, I don't feel like I'm myself. So there's times where you kind of lose yourself. Like, you know, for me, it's like, yo, let me get back in the gym. Let me get back that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I'm in there, like, I'm focused. I'm determined. I got my goal. Like, the mindset's there. Like, you know, I have a goal. I'm gonna get it. Like, this is my goal.
Okay.
Like, obviously, I don't have that time that I used to spend hours in the gym. So now it's like a competition, like, for myself. I'm like, okay, like, you know, I got this time now, but let me put it to good use.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not doing anything, like, it's easy if you get more time to still not do anything.
Yep.
But it's tricky because, like, if you don't plan or, like, if you don't have something in mind, you won't even use that time. Because, like, even myself, like, okay, I want to work out. Now that I have more time, I've still been working on my lifestyle. Like, what am I going to do with that time? Like, I could sleep early, you know, like, maybe contribute to something that might help me, like, push, like, one of my main goals. So, even right now, like, with this additional time, I want to spend it, like, getting fitness as an income or, like, a business. So I want to be home. Like, I like being home. I like having my garage gym. So this additional time where I could train myself.
Yeah.
It's out the way, and I can use that other time to train other people.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
like, kind of give back. Like, kind of help people. Like, I kind of want, like, okay, with this time, this whole COVID, I let myself go, move into the house. Like, shit gets busy, you know.
Yeah.
So, like, I want to spend this time getting back fit. So this time I'm going to share with people. Like, I want to take a picture, like, of my body and kind of just take people on the journey and just showing, you know, like, even if your lifestyle is busy or not, like, we all have common things. Like, we all work, we all have our family, we all have things we want to see about.
Yeah. Yep.
And, like, if you could still have those things in the day and still get, like, be healthy, like, make that maybe, like, part of your lifestyle. Like, it's kind of like a journey I want to take people on.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, me having the gym, like, training people is kind of like giving back and, like, giving that person that knowledge to take to another person and keep going like that.
Spread it, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that you said that, because that was actually going to be my next question is, you know, I wanted to bring up your fitness journey. You said, we talked earlier how you were going to become an entrepreneur. And so this is what I wanted to ask next is, like, what are your goals and intentions with sharing your fitness journey on social media? But as you're saying, it's really about sharing, like, showing people that if you can do it, why can't someone else, right? And taking people on the journey with you.
Yeah.
So it's bigger than just you, right? I like that.
Yeah.
So what can we look forward to in terms of, like, you know, your social media come up and your page is obviously at Ryanrampersadfit, so guys, go follow him. So what can we look forward to in your social media? Like,
it's gonna be a lot of I guess a lot of people don't have, like, self-confidence in posting their body, especially when they're not in shape. So you're gonna see, like, me right now, and then me to get to my goal. So since everybody's watching that, I have, like, I have people to be,
like, hold you accountable?
yeah,
almost?
hold you accountable.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's actually, like, kind of fun where it's like, you know, like, this is where I want to get, and, like, I have people, like, I want to show them, like, you could do it. So, like, not only for myself, for other people, like, this is all you have to do to get here. So I'm gonna, like, take maybe, like, I was ideally thinking maybe weekly updates, post, like, some nutrition, just, like, maybe some cool, nice meals that are easy to make, just to help encourage people. Don't take a lot of time, simple. Maybe some workouts that even people who don't have any equipment can do, you know, show off the gym. Like, if people do want to come, like, some equipment I got, you know, man's ain't locked down over here.
Okay, we're not in gray area over here, guys.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay, I like that. And now see what I'm doing for you guys? I'm putting Ryan on the spot, holding you accountable now, telling everyone what you're going to be doing so we can look forward to that. I hope.
Count's about to go down. We're about to close it. Yeah.
So on our way out, I just have a few more questions. Is there any like motivational quotes or sayings that keep you going nowadays? Like, do you have anything in your mind that keeps you going? Any just thoughts or words or quotes?
I mean, like, I don't know. If you want to do something, you do it, no? You'd find a way. You'd find the means. Mm-hmm. You'd make it happen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, some life advice I've been given is just like, you do, you know? The consequences, the learning will come. Like, but when you think about it and you plan too much, you never get to acting. And it holds you back. Mm-hmm. Like, people are afraid of making mistakes and, like, not getting outside their comfort zone. But, like, that adversity, that's what grows you. That's what makes you. And I would say, like, to anybody, if you really want it, then go do it. Like, when people complain, it's just like, what are you complaining about? If that's really a problem, then just fix it. You know, like,
yeah.
If you really want to be in shape, then get to the gym. Like, you know,
it's like people know what they have to do, but they don't do. So doing is like the ultimate thing, right?
I don't really have any motivational quotes. Like, I like reading them, but I don't know. Like,
you don't need them.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like, yeah, like I know what I want to do.
Okay, fair enough.
And like, I don't really need somebody to tell me what to do. I don't really need anyone to encourage me. Like, I know what I want. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody's wants and needs are going to be different, but you got to recognize them, embrace them, and like go after them.
Fair enough.
You don't be 40 and be like, oh, bro, I should have done that. Oh.
And even if you are 40, I mean, you can still do that. Like, you know what I mean? You really don't have to find an excuse even at any point of your life. Anything that's in your way, you can just still do. As long as you can do, you should, right?
Yeah, you just don't want to have regrets. You just don't. I don't know. Like, I don't know how you feel about regrets. I just don't think like someone should have them if they're happy with who they are.
That's what it is. Yep.
Like, at the end of the day, the simple things matter, right? Like, we're here, we're alive, we have our family, our loved ones, like, we're able, whatever, all that shit. Mm-hmm. But if you like who you are, all the decisions, all the things that happened that made you and got you to where you are, you embrace them. Like, I don't really like people who like to dwell on the past. Like, it's good to look back at your lessons, but to look back and just like want to be there doesn't do much. Like, you're kind of like holding yourself from moving forward. Like, okay, you made that mistake, don't happen again. Okay, like, you know, you did this, that, like, who knows, that thing led to A to B that made you like C, like where you want to be. Of
course, it all had to happen for a reason, right? Like, if anything in past changed, you wouldn't get to be where you were today.
Exactly.
I get what you're saying, and I feel the same way about regrets. Like, no one's lived a perfect life, no one. But if you like where you are now, if you can appreciate the things around you, if you can find a reason to be grateful, you should also appreciate everything that led up to that moment. Because nothing can change, so nothing really should have changed.
All the good and all the bad.
Yeah, as long as you're fortunate enough to say you're here and fortunate enough to appreciate your surroundings, your home, right? As we bring it full circle, then we can keep going forward.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's a good place to end. You know, just a little inspirational move. You know, inspirational place for you guys. Any questions for me before we head out, or any thoughts? Any final thoughts you want to get off your chest, off your mind?
So, like, say you reach the gym, eh?
So right now, guys, we're actually about to get a home workout in right after this episode. So, man, it's been good catching up with you. All right, it's been good catching up with you. We did a part 2. We answered the question for you guys. So, hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, keep on vibing out, right? Peace, guys. So, hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you learned something. Hope you laughed a little bit. And yeah, I'm just really happy you guys are here. Grateful you made it this far in the episode. You know you're a real one if you made it this far. So I hope you've liked the video, subscribed, or followed so that you don't miss another episode. Because I'll be dropping weekly episodes, so I don't want you guys to miss out. Thank you again for being here. I'll see you next time, all right? This has been Vibing Out with Texony. I'm your host, Texony, a.k.a. Mr. WorldVibe. And I'm signing out. Peace.